remarkable, successful 30-year titan in business with having multiple businesses that generate multiplied millions of dollars.
And if that plan happens to be to build $1 million company, which I can help you do.
But he's humble. He's a man of God. He's a family man.
The world's news organizations are built on everything but positivity.
He is an influential entrepreneur and business figure for over 30 years.
I've got to forecast. I've got to pronounce. I've got to project. I've got to share with you my ideas, my vision, my goals for not only myself, but for you.
That's why he's came up with his incredible concept of taking and creating a platform for people that are wired differently.
And you got to understand that your habits of your person and your habits of your business and your habits of your spirituality have to lead to the North Star of who you are. We need to figure out who we want to be in life.
The National Organization of News is built on everything but positivity. Oh, man. I said that. It's in the intro. It's in that amazing intro we have. We talked about PMA a while back. But forget that right now, because I am demonstrating PMA, positive mental attitude, and I wanted to talk to you, waking you up this morning. I love all the comments I'm getting. Man, yesterday was sensational. It really felt good. It felt good to just let it rip potato chip. I mean, we just preached it, talked it, loved it, picked up followers, got great comments. But man, I just wanted to say that the new, we were kind of starting off. Then I was listening to my own intro, and it was like, wow, man, that's so profound. The national news is only predicated on everything but good news. You see, this world we live in is just trounced down with negativity. I don't know. I can't explain. I guess I could get deep and understand that we are not of this world anymore. I mean, with this world that we live in, this earth, that we're walking around with earthlings, I suppose. People that aren't in touch with God or in touch with the Christianity faith would be able to understand when I say that we're not of this world anymore. We are misfits of this world. We believe that once we accept Christ, we're not of like this world. We live in it. We roam around it. We bump into people. We love people. We're doing the things that we need to do in this world to go through these paces and these times and to make the most of it. But we believe that we're not really of this world now. Once we have accepted him and we're moving on, and we're really thinking about the future of not only ourselves, but other people. But the world that we live in, that's why, I mean, let's just cut to the chase. That's not what I want to talk about today, but I'm going to talk about it right now because it just happens. That's why the world, that's why I said that the national news is based on everything but positivity. It's based on negativity. It's based on who's doing what, who's sleeping with who's murdering who's lying about what political official is not doing what your side wants to be done, and on and on and on, and the national debt in Taiwan and China and capitalist versus non-capitalist versus freedom and not freedom, and who's waving the flag, and what beer are you drinking? I mean, you could never drink a Bud Light again if you're a Christian conservative. You got to bury the company. Poor Bud Light. I feel sorry for Bud Light. Man, they were just walking down the street one day, and I know I'm going to get some more hate mail on this, but they're just literally walking down the street one day and like, hey, that person is interesting. Let's put him on a beer can and let's show the world that we embrace interesting people. No, man. I wasn't a Bud Light drinker, so I really couldn't boycott them. But I mean, freedom of speech. But man, negativity turned negative on negativity, and it was like a dog pile on negativity. And I don't think Budweiser is dug out of that marketing blunder. I thought I was going to be cool and boycott Bud Light when someone said, "Hey, would you like a Bud Light?" I said, "No. I'll just take a Michelob Ultra." And then I was sitting there sipping on a Michelob Ultra, and I realized from an ad I was reading that Budweiser owns Michelob Ultra. So, man, they got you coming and going. I mean, the world is what it is. I mean, negativity is what you make negative, is what you look at negative. And I really don't want to be negative today. I want to be your sunshine. I want to be your sunshine in a box. I want to be your sunshine in Cleveland. I want to, I want you to look forward to me. I want you to say, "Oh man, what's Todd going to talk about today? Is he going to talk about men and bikinis? Is he going to talk about Bud Light? Is he going to talk about the negative words?" But no, everything I talk to you about is ultimately going to be positive, because that's my pitch. You literally have two choices every day. One is to be negative, or one is to be positive. There's no in between. Like, you can't just say, "Well, today I am going to be down the middle. I'm not going to be positive. I'm not going to be negative." Because if you make that choice right away, you've already chose a position of negativity. I just really don't think there's a middle ground. I think we have to choose to look for the positive thing. And so today I want to talk to you about some very positive things. Positive. So here's this Friday. You can see my microphone when I do Friday. Let's see how I do that. It's Friday. Come on, we know when it's Friday. We know it's the end of the week. We know we got the weekend coming. A lot of us get to enjoy weekends. Some of us don't. A lot of the donut workers, which we're going to talk about donuts today. We're going to talk about the donut capital of the world. We're going to talk about the donut eating championship of the world, because we have to, because it's a certain holiday today. But I wanted to kind of give you some framework this morning. I wanted to frame it around this positivity. I wanted to frame it around you and what some tools you can work with today. I thought we had a really strong lesson yesterday. God shared with us that we're called to follow him. He is our shepherd. It says, I am your shepherd, right? And God says, I want to be your shepherd. And even leaders have to follow somebody, and we have to choose to follow God. And I think great leaders choose to follow that deity. And God says, I am your shepherd. I lead you down. I make you lay down in green pastures, which basically says, if you follow me, I will give you a clear path. I will give you calm, peace, and serenity. I will give you a place to rest. But then he goes on further to say, and I will lead you beside still waters, which means this water will be drinkable, the air will be good, the ideas will be positive, and the positive mental attitude will be passed through you, because you will have the Spirit and you'll be moving through those things. That's the beautiful, beautiful Psalms David talked about as a leader. David was an amazing leader. But today I want to talk to you about these 4 P's. I want to talk to you about your purpose, your practice, your process, and your payoff. And I couldn't think of a better day to talk to you about it than to actually flip the switch today and talk about the national holidays. And I just wanted to bring them into you. And I want to talk to you about the national holidays. We might as well do it. Been doing that for a little bit now. And here we go. So the national holidays today, and I've got a great tie-in for you guys. So I just want you to understand that the national holiday today, the first national holiday we want to celebrate today is, for some reason, there's a national holiday for not just buses, but we're talking about a national holiday for the Volkswagen bus. So congratulations to the Volkswagen bus. The other national holiday that today is rotisserie chicken. Hear ye to rotisserie chicken. I first found rotisserie chicken out in college. I probably ate 25,000 rotisserie. It was so easy. You just went down to the grocery store and had a big warming box. You said, give me one of them chickens, and you pluck it out. It had the legs hanging on it. And the skin was on it. And you carry it out in a box and take it home. And you didn't even need silverware. You didn't need anything. You just sat down with your roommates in a college house and you just devoured, literally pick the bones clean on rotisserie. I think I have more props for rotisserie chicken day than a German bus, but I suppose the 60s were pretty big for. So congratulations to the 60s and the German Volkswagen bus. And more importantly, congratulations to Rotisserie Chicken Day. I'm going to be promoting a couple things today. And one of them, I'm not thinking about rotisserie chicken. I love her. So way to go. Tracy, listen, my family, Tracy, tonight, let's do rotisserie chicken. I haven't had it in a while. It's on our meat diet. Kendra, Courtney, Kara, Jakin, Judah, Nora, and my man, Sailor. I'm buying rotisserie chickens for everybody back in Florida. Rotisserie chicken on Papa Bear right here. So do that. Now, the next day I want to celebrate is Bubba Day. What is Bubba Day? Well, I just saw it and it's like Bubba. So I like, what is Bubba Day? So anybody that calls anybody Bubba out there, this is your day. I think Kara, Bryson's dad called Bryson Bubba. So Bryson, happy Bubba Day to you. If not, now I'm just going to call you Bubba, because a little better known secret here is that Bubba really means brother. Bubba is short for brother. That's what the researchers told me in my crack research team. All right. The other national day is Rocky Road Day. I think it's an ice cream. I think it's a day that we have Rocky time. So listen, we got a bus to be thankful. I'm driving a bus and I'm eating my rotisserie chicken and I'm waving to all my friends named Bubba, saluting the Bubbas of America. And the last one, but not least, before I get to my favorite one, is National Leave the Office Day. So in good fortune, Payserve Systems, you guys are listening to me today in Florida and in Indiana and any of our remote locations. You can leave the office early today. Just make sure that everything's done and all the customers are happy. You're happy. Go home early. Get your rotisserie chicken. You may drive a Volkswagen bus. You may have a friend named Bubba, and get your Rocky Road ice cream. But listen, for dessert, what I want you to do for today, which is the national holiday, I want you to understand that I am excited to talk about the best national holiday in the world, and it is right here. So I think I'm funny. I can't help it. I think my wife fell in love with me because I'm funny. I think she thinks I'm funny. I don't know that that's the personality type that she enjoys most of them. I think that what's the greatest national holiday we could celebrate of all? I mean, let's talk about it. I'm going live on Tom's Donuts. I don't go live all the time with you guys, but I think you love this station. We got lots of followers, and every now and then we got to celebrate the national holiday of all holidays. It's National Donut Day. Listen, I got up this morning, went down to the donut shop, both the stores. I said hello to everybody. People were already in lines getting donuts. There was boxes stacked on boxes, stacked on boxes, and stacked. People were ordering donuts, and I just want to thank you. So anybody listening right now on National Donut Day in Angola, Indiana, which is where I'm broadcasting from the Wired to Differently studio. This place is phenomenal. The EDC has done this in co-work space. You got to get down here and use all this. You got to know, listen, I need you to understand that it's National Donut Day. And this donut is the best donut in the world. So get on down there to Tom's Donuts. And if you're watching me right now, you walk right in there and you tell those ladies, today is National Donut Day. And I heard Todd live on his podcast for Wired Differently. And I want a free donut. I want a free donut, free donut, free donut. Don't you think it's funny? I had an opportunity. I was going to actually had a couple different backgrounds, and I just want you to see. Vote right now. Which is a better background? Let's see. Let's try this one. Let me get my comments. Oh, lots of comments. What do we got going here? Oh, man. Hey, Christina Wilson. Where you been all the time? God is good all the time. God is good all the time. Way to go. Morning, coach. Christina, I missed you. Jason Ball, you're a warrior. Latane, happy Friday, National Donut Day. Oh, here's Terry Fultz from Texas. She's Dallas. She's San Antonio. I should know better. Good to see you. Oh, lots of people from Trinidad. Hi, Albia. Nice to see you. Brandon Echo. Let's see here. Lou Fry. Let's pick on Lou Fry. Good morning. She looks like a rock star. Jason, Christina, Luther, Madeline. How about any Bubbas out there? Laura Schramm, you're a Bubba workman. How you doing? Good to see everybody out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, anyways, it's National Donut Day, and I just wanted to go back and get the setting I want because I'm going to teach a little bit here, and I just can't get rid of this. I just feel like I'm motivated by glazed donuts this morning. I got a green screen behind me in this co-work space. We painted the wall green, and we got a big TV monitor. I got lights in front of me. I've got a whiteboard. I can put notes. It's just an amazing space. But I want to talk to you about not as much as National Donut Day, but what National Donut Day has done for me, what National Donuts have done for you, and actually this little town of Indiana called Angola. Here's the thing. And you've heard the story about the donut capital world. You heard about what's going on, and it really ties into this idea of purpose, practice, process, payoff. Purpose, practice, process, payoff. And so today I just wanted to make sure you're focusing on what your purpose is, because you cannot really be committed on a continuum basis if you don't have your purpose driving your reps. And so when I think about that, I think about the donut capital of the world. I think about the donut eating championship of the world. The picture I showed on the advertisement here was 5 or 6 of the professional eaters at the donut eating championship of the world. And now I wanted to pick on that because I wanted to say, okay, let's start with the purpose, and then let's go to the practice, and then let's look at the process, and then let's look at the payoff. We got 15 minutes here, and I want you to take something with you. So what was the purpose of the rebranding of Tom's Donuts? This is a marketing lesson for not only your business, but your life. Because I really believe that the business in your life, the person that you are, need to be connected. Your habits lead to the North Star, which is your identity. And so we need to triangulate our identity, our habits, and our purpose to one spot. So we're pointing our spidey senses at that common identity, that common habits, and the common purpose of our life. And so you can have multiple processes going on in your life. I mean, I have multiple purposes. I have a wired differently purpose, a brand, a mindset, a mission, right? A movement and a ministry. That's a purpose over there. And then over here, I have a Tom's Donuts. Let's just pick on those two. I have the Tom's Donuts brand and purpose, right? In both of those two worlds, they sometimes intersect. Like today, I'm talking to both communities, but I think it's important that you understand that your habits of your business, the habits of your life, are leading towards your identity. So Christians' habits should be obviously clearly in the Bible, clearly in the Word, clearly in helping others, clearly trying to become the better person they can be in God's Word and the way He's asked us to live our lives and be in that community. And that would be our identity. So we would make sure that our reading, our studies, our worship are all lining up with our habits. Those are our habits that are leading towards our identity, which is to be known as, or viewed and recognized as, a God follower. So, I mean, that's easy. Even if you're not a Christian, you can understand that those are clear principles. Your habits are reading and studying and worship, those towards your identity, which is to be known as a Christian or a Christ follower or a God follower. Well, let's just take that same model and let's take it to wired differently. My habits are this morning show. My habits are my studies. My habits are my teaching and my coaching. And those habits are leading to my North Star, to be known as a coach, a good coach, a matter of fact, a great coach. One that can grow you personally, one that can grow you spiritually, and one that can grow you profitably. But let's pick on the donut shop, because I really like to pick on that, because it's probably one of the most, probably one of the most successful endeavors I've ever really had from a business perspective. But why is that? Why is that the donut capital of the world is one of the most successful businesses I've ever turned around or started, however you want to look at it? Because The purpose was clear. The purpose was clear. And now, some of you are going to probably say, well, what was the purpose? The purpose was to make great donuts. The purpose was to make great coney donuts. But no, I mean, that was a secondary market dominating position, was to make great tasting donuts fresh every day, made out of potato flour. It's based on the recipe my dad created in 1970. That was a secondary purpose. But the real purpose of rebranding Tom's, the real purpose of the marketing. So even if you don't like donuts, listen to the purpose, listen to what's going on here, because this is your life. Some of us don't have companies, but we do have lives, right? We do have identities. And so I'm pushing on you. I'm trying to pitch you on the fact that your personal life and your spiritual life and your business life they align. You're going to have success almost 100% of the time. I promise you, if I can help you with that. And so what I'm saying, we talked about wired. We're also talking about my purposeful drive. I want to be known as a Christian man, a godly man, one who falls and gets back up and shares the gospel and says, man, I can do better next time, right? But on a business note, I want you to look at wired differently. Look at the growth we've had, not only nationally, but now globally. But I also want you to come over here and look at the donut, because a donut is much more relatable. And so I'm talking to you about Tom's Donuts, the donut capital of the world. It wasn't the donut capital of the world 3 years ago. Maybe it was, but nobody knew it. But what was Todd's purpose for the donuts? What was what was my purpose? So, and I really want this to dig in, because my purpose wasn't the greatest donut ever, wasn't the rock bands, wasn't the fireworks show. My purpose was basically twofold: to celebrate my father, create a community. In that order. To celebrate my father, to create a community. That was my purpose. And my secondary purpose, that was my market dominating position. No donut company in the world was out there celebrating their father, celebrating a family history like we were doing, celebrating a community of people, celebrating a tradition. As I look back on that became my identity. Those habits towards that became my identity. And everything about me, everything about the marketing, everything about what I was saying was pointing to that love affair with my father, that history, that tradition, the mentoring that he gave me, and what he didn't even know what he was doing 50 years ago and what he was building. But I wanted him recognized for that. And yeah, my mom had certainly things to do with it early in our lives. But at the end of the day, my father was pouring into me in sports and days and Boy Scouts and workshops and mindset and skill set, teaching me how to make a donut, teaching me how to catch a football, teaching me how to become a man. I mean, listen, so I had no choice but to not let this brand die. I had no choice but to celebrate that father-son love. And that's why I'm making the movie, The Tiger in Us. Brilliant movie, amazing movie. Go to thetigerinus.com, thetigerinus.com. Check out the movie trailer. I'm writing the book right now as we speak. It's going to be the next book that comes out, and we have several producers that really want to pick up this movie. So we're moving through that. But at the end of the day, the lesson I want you to know is, what's your purpose? We got to have a purpose, and we're going to focus this right now. The purpose of Tom's Donuts on National Donut Day was for me to celebrate my father, to celebrate my heritage, to celebrate my tradition, my love for the donut and what it did for my family, and how I got to grow up on Lake James, how I got to ride around in a fishing boat, how I got to shoot fireworks off, how I got to sneak on the golf course at Bledsoe's and crawl across the back number 5 hole and nobody would see us. And they knew about it. They never said a word to us. You know, how I used to dive in that pond to get the golf balls and try and sell them, right? How I used to ride my bike down that road or take the boat, or me and my buddy Gary, we'd go fishing out on Jimerson Lake and camp, throw a tent up and come home the next day sometime, and our parents didn't care. They didn't worry. We had no cell phone. One time we went out camping, went fishing, and our boat sank. We woke up the next morning. We were stuck on a little area back there at Paradise, we call it, and we had no way home, and we had to bail the boat out. And the only motor we could get to work was the trolling motor, and it was on a battery, and that thing must have took us 5 hours to get back home. All right, we get home, it's like 2 PM, and no one even asked, where were you last night? We're like 12 years old. I mean, I don't know. I'm having fun with today. I hope you're having fun. because we're talking about life. We're talking about fun. My identity was those funds. And so when I decided to rebrand Tom's Donuts, it was easy. My habits and my identity was this piece to celebrate my father, to celebrate those morning times, those the traditions. Because if I had them, other people had them. It's so relatable. And you know what, even bigger than that, if I had them and other people had them, it's so relatable. But you know what? There's some people that didn't have it, but they wanted it. Now it even becomes more incumbent on us to bring them in. Come on, be part of the Tom's Donut sand. The sandbar's got the tradition. That whole lake, that's a tradition, right? That we're inviting people in and enjoying it. So that's the North Star of my habits, right? And so that's the purpose. So what's the practice of the Tom's Donut? What do we practice? Well, we practice positivity. We practice joy. We practice sunshine in a box. We practice all these things, right? We practice. We got to get it right. We practice being happy. We practice being positive. We practice having the best donuts in the world, fresh and on time, and all the ways you want them. We practice, and when we don't get it right, we say we're sorry. We practice. We're doing the reps. My brother's in there almost every night making donuts. My brother is an absolute warrior. The operations, the practice, the routines, practice, which takes us into the process. Now, the process is not just making the donut. The process is from marketing to the process of making them, to the process of selling them, and to the process of following up with a customer on a live show or something. What is your purpose? What are you practicing? What are your habits in that practice? Are they pointing to your North Star? And the process is pulling all of these energies together and getting the work done in your life. And if your identity is to be a Christian, then what is the practice? What is the reps that you're doing? And what is the process and how you're delivering the message, evangelizing and sharing the gospel and sharing the good news and just being who you are, an image of somebody that's positive in the word and doing those things. Think about how all of our personal life, our spiritual life, and our profitable lives work in our lives. And if we get our purpose right and we get our practice right and we get our process right, then what's the payoff? Now, listen, you're going to say, well, you're so good about being good to other people. And then you have to talk about payoff. Well, listen, man, we all need a payoff. We may say we don't need a payoff. We may say that we're just not selfish like that. I'm not greedy. I've run into a lot of people like that, and I think they're great people. But we need a payoff. Now, you don't have to be paid off in money. You don't have to be paid off really in anything at all. If your payoff is no payoff and you're not getting any payoff and that makes you happy, then your payoff has been no payoff and you're happy because you got no payoff. At the end of the day, there has to be a result to your actions, to your life, your address, the things that you're going for, your purpose, your practice, and your process. There has to be a payoff. You have to have a payoff. I mean, there has to be a payoff. There has to be this idea of what are we working so hard for? Right? Why are we working? Why are all these things? And so the payoff for Tom, since we're picking on Tom's this morning, the payoff for Tom's is simply this. Happy people celebrating the tradition of Tom's. And at the end of the day, the byproduct of that is they buy donuts and we make enough money to pay our people very well, more than the average wage in the town of Angola. And the process keeps going. And a little bit falls down to Tracy and I, and it keeps Shane and the family moving, and my dad moving, and my sister moving, and everybody moving. It's all part of the process in the inside of the business model. But the payoff really is the happy faces, the people that continue to say they're happy with the donuts, that continue to say they're happy with the atmosphere and the countless letters we get of my grandfather took me there when I was 6, and now I'm taking my grandkids. I mean, wow. And as far as wired differently, it's the same thing. The payoff will soon be the coaching revenue and the syndication of coaching all over the country. We're just launched it, and it's really working. It's so exciting. But the emails I got one of the most beautiful messages yesterday from a follower that started with, I don't normally listen to all your your curriculum. I don't generally listen through, but yesterday this person actually listened to the whole message, and to keep it, they felt like they were blown away. They loved the message. They loved the gospel. They actually called me a preacher, and it was such a great. So that's the payoff, right? That's the payoff. Payoff today is, man, it's National Donut Day. It could be your favorite day. It could be rotisserie chicken. You could be celebrating the bus. You could be calling somebody Bubba. You could be getting off work early, but really it's National Donut Day. And now we know the purpose, the practice, the process, and the payoff of Tom's Donuts. And how are you going to triangulate that in your life? How can you take these things in your life? Can you look at your purpose? Can you look at your practice? Can you look at your process? And can you look at your payoff? I want you to look at all four of those things. And if you have something to write down right now, write down the word purpose. Just do it. Write it down. Now write down the word practice. Write it down. Then the process, and then the payoff. And I have no problem with you going all the way down to the bottom and saying, my payoff is. And then I want you to go next from the bottom up. My payoff will be, my process will be, my practice will be, and my purpose is what? And that last thing you write, your purpose has to align with your identity as a person. My identity, all those things have to reverse back up into my identity of my purpose. I want to be known as a Christian entrepreneurial leader. I want to be known as a wired differently author and speaker. I want to be known as the leader, the marketing head of the donut capital of the world, which is building up his father and his family in the tradition and the legacy of these areas of Angola and Lake James. I mean, so if I can go backwards through those purpose, practice, process, and payoff, and I can end at my identity, then I know you're going in the right direction with your life mission, your business mission, or obviously your spiritual mission. So listen, it's one of these days where we just had a great day, and it's Friday, and I want to bring this home to you guys and tell you how much I appreciate everything that's going on in this world right now. It's I picked on Bud Light a little bit, and I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for everybody who gets caught up in this crazy world of not positive mental health. I mean, who cares? Who cares how certain people live their life, right? You've got your own life to be concerned with. You've got your own family to be concerned with. You've got your own purpose, your own practice, your own process, and your own payoff. I think the news hurts us. I think I've been healthier ever since I turned off the damn news. I'm just focused on this show. I'm up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 every morning, starting to put something together for this show. I don't even turn on the news anymore. I've created a job for myself in my last years. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Wait, what an amazing birthday. Thank you for the donut capital of the world. Thank you for all the things that you're endorsing and supporting me and my family with. I want you to understand that our new book has come out, and I'm super, super proud of it. It's the title of my book is Your Will Be Done. And the book is amazing. And I'm super eager to share that with you, to get you out the flash sale, to talk to you about what this book can do for you in your purpose, your practice, your livelihood. This flash sale is going to get you this book for not $29.99. It's going to get it to you for $24.99. And wait, there's more, right? There's more. I'm going to get you, there's 4 days left on this flash sale. I'm going to get you this cool wired differently thing, the sling pack. Super cool. You can fit in books, you can fit in water bottles, pens, paper, pencils. You could probably put donuts in that thing. It's an awesome thing. We also have a workbook. It's not a digital workbook action plan. It's actually the workbook that goes with the book. And we're going to do the shipping for free. So I'm excited. I'm excited for so much going on right now. I am excited to share this with you. I want you to know what your purpose, practice, your process, and your payoff is. Get to toddsaylor.com. I'll see you Monday morning. Thank you so much for a great day. You're an awesome crowd, and let's get it on like Donkey Kong. Let's let it rip potato. I love you.